Dove, Boo, and Cam and I will be bonded for life after what we experienced. Filming Descendants was a fairy tale. It was a dream come true in every sense. And we reunite every year together for Cam's gala to support the Cameron Boyce Foundation.
My name is Addison Holmes. I love your acting and I love Descendants. My question is, how did you start your acting career?
Aw. Hi, Addison. Thank you so much for your question. I began my acting career on Austin and Ally, a guest starring show on Disney Channel, but before that I had gone on 200 plus auditions while I was studying at UCLA, getting my college degree, and I would drive from class to the studios around LA auditioning, and my first break was getting cast as my first character on Austin and Ally with Ross Lynch and Laura Marano, and then that kind of opened the doors to the world of Disney, and I started getting more callbacks with Disney, and a few months later is when I began the audition process for Evie, which eventually ended up changing my life.
Sophia, are you still friends with Dove Cameron?
Just the sweetest thing in the world. We are. Dove, Boo, and Cam and I will be bonded for life after what we experienced. Filming Descendants was a fairy tale. It was a dream come true in every sense. And we reunite every year together for Cam's gala to support the Cameron Boyce Foundation.
Hi, my name's Ariana from New Jersey. My question is it weird kissing someone on screen?
Hey, Ariana, that's such a great question, and people don't ask that enough. Yeah, it's a little weird. But we're both professionals, and when you step into a character, it's like you both know that you're doing this in character and you're telling a story, and sometimes it can be less weird because you're just, you know, you're in a safe environment, you're in a safe place. There's a beautiful role now on films called intimacy coordinator, so you kind of speak to them and you talk about how you feel safe and your limitations and such, and both actors are aware of that. So you kind of, you know, you walk into a very safe situation, and then something happens when the cameras start rolling and both of you just kind of know that you're stepping into these character stories, and this is part of that story. But yeah, it's definitely, probably every actor would say it's a weird part of our job.
Hi Sophia, my name's Michelle and I'm on the People Style team. My question for you is, how do you get your spark back after a breakup?
Ooh. Hi, Michelle. That is a great question. How to get your spark back after a breakup. I love that you said spark, because oftentimes it's dulled after a breakup. I don't even know what the answer is to that. Time. I think surrounding yourself with people that you love, that fill your spark, that fill your cup. When I went through a rough breakup, I turned to music as a way to express what I was feeling, and I wrote so many songs, like the amount of really sad, heartbreaking songs that are in my notes page really helped. It was kind of a catharsis, and that really, I think, got me through it.
Hi Sophia, my name is Skylar and I'm 11 years old. My question is, do you consider yourself a dancer, actress, or singer?
Aw, hi Skylar. First of all, 11 is my favorite number, so you're the best age. Do I consider myself an actor, dancer, or singer? I consider myself a storyteller, and it's the most beautiful gift to be able to storytell either through dance or through music or through film. And, you know, I began with dance and music, but as I transitioned into acting, I quickly learned that it is the same thing. It is the concept of being able to tell stories in just different ways, and I feel so lucky and so unbelievably lucky that I get to do all of that.
Hi Sophia, my name is Riley and I'm 9 years old. I was wondering, do you ever get nervous on stage when you're performing? Because I'm a dancer too and I want some advice.
Roland, I don't know if you can see this, but we're kind of matching. She has burgundy hair and a burgundy sweater, so we're matching today. That's so beautiful that you're a dancer. And yes, you should ask my mom and my team. I do get nervous, and sometimes I'll go through phases where I feel very okay and walking onto stage is a breeze, but then sometimes it's very nerve-wracking, and For me, myself, what gives me ease is preparing as much as possible and kind of giving myself that gift of like absolute preparation, rehearsing with my coach so that everything kind of becomes like a part of my muscle. So when I get on stage, because butterflies will always kick in, but when you have control of your muscle, it won't affect you as much. But recently I was just shooting a movie in London, and I had to go straight from that into a couple of very big performances with Andrea Bocelli, and I was just a wreck for a few days. And the only thing that I did to help myself was to just lean into rehearsing as much as possible. And visualizing. My coach taught me the power of visualization, so before I would go to bed, I would visualize myself singing all of those high notes in harmony with him, and it just makes something click inside of you. But I think it's a beautiful thing to have nerves, because I think it means that you're just so absolutely passionate about what you do, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it was Emma Stone that talked about the power of anxiety and using it as a superpower, and I myself have anxiety, and thinking of it in that way has been really empowering.
So, Sophia, I've heard you liked opera. Do you like it better than musical theater?
Oh my gosh. Hi. How did you know that I liked opera? I'm so intrigued by who told you that, because I just had this conversation like 3 days ago. Well, I'll tell you the story. I actually was recently singing with Andrea Bocelli, who is one of the greatest singers of all time, and I'm so honored to get to release music with him. And we were in London performing, and he was listening to my vocal warm-ups, and he asked me if I sang opera. And I said that I don't, but that I was trained classically. And Andrea Bocelli told me that I should sing opera, and I think I could have died right then and there. And ever since then, it's been in my mind that I would love to explore that, perhaps in film. But to your question of whether I like opera more than musical theater, that's a tough one. Actually, I will say, which makes sense, my favorite musical is Phantom of the Opera, which brings both worlds together.
Hi, Sophia. I'm Kaylin, and I'm 10 years old. My question is, who is the first person you call when you need advice? Thanks.
Kaylin, that's such a great question. What a wise question. The first person I call when I need advice is my mom. My mom is my everything, my compass. We're partners in this journey together. No one knows me like she does, and her only care in the world is my happiness. Yeah, she's my first call. Multiple calls a day, I will say. And she does give the best advice, and I think of all the words of wisdom she's shared with me, I think those around living in gratitude and choosing to be grateful every single day, it just shifts how you live your life. You might be too young to understand that now, but when you wake up every single day and you just say, I'm so grateful that I get to do this every day, it just shifts how you see life and how you live your life. And whenever I've worked with people like Diane Warren or even Andrea Bocelli, they're grateful every single day to get on a stage. No matter how big they are, how many albums they've sold, they're grateful every single day, and that's such a beautiful thing.
My name is Addie, and this is my friend Eloise, and we are 9 years old, and we have some questions for you. My questions are, how was it being on set?
Hey guys, hey Addie and Eloise. Being on set is one of my favorite places in the world to be. No matter how many hours and how many days, I'm the last person that wants to leave the set every day. I've had the privilege of shooting 3 movies this year, and every time a movie finishes, I have to mourn it. It's such a gift to be able to step into these worlds and to step into these incredible young women's feet and kind of tell their stories and become them for a few months at a time. And also it's beautiful because I get to live in different parts of the world. Like I lived in New York for a few months, I lived in London for a few months. And you really kind of immerse yourself in this bubble. And then every day for 16 hours of the day, you get to just transform into someone else and create art all day long. And it's just so fulfilling and so beautiful and so, it's magical. I think you also become really, really close to, especially the people who kind of help you transform into character, the hair and makeup team and the wardrobe department, and you just become really, really close, and you kind of get used to this beautiful morning routine of every morning, being together and spending those 2 hours in the trailer that kind of feel kind of sacred, that set you up for the day. But it's beautiful. It's just the best. And then, Eloise.
My question is, did you always want to be an actress, or did you have a different job in mind? So yeah,
So cute.
bye.
Bye. Growing up, I don't remember a moment in my life when I didn't know that I was going to be a performer. And it started off with music. And I just was always singing and performing in my house since I was 3 years old. And I realize now what a gift that was to always have it so clear. And the blessing that I had to have the mom that I had that just gave me the wings to fly so high and never made it seem that anything was impossible. So I truly get to live my dream every single day. And I consider myself one of the luckiest girls in the world.
Hi, Sophia. I'm Felicity and I'm 7 years old.
I'm Callie and I'm 9 years old.
And we have a question for you.
Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Thank you.
Thank you guys for your question. My favorite Disney princess was always Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Growing up, I think she was the first one that I felt looked like me because she was a brunette, and she always had her nose buried in a book and she wasn't chasing after a prince, and I felt very seen by that as a young, independent woman. So Belle was always my favorite.
Hi Sophia, I'm Catherine and I work on the People Style team. How has your style evolved and what is it like now?
Hey, Catherine. That's a great question. Audrey Hepburn has kind of always been my guiding light in terms of everything regarding fashion and style. So I always gravitate towards like timeless elegance, chic, but then oftentimes, depending on if I'm performing or if I'm promoting a certain film, you know, then I'll kind of adapt to that world of fashion that we've created for that music era or for that film era, but it's always remained consistent in the timeless.
Hi Sophia, I'm Kira and I'm 10 years old. My question is, when was the last time you were really scared? Bye, thanks.
Hi, Kira. That is such a great question. Honestly, the last time I was a little scared was driving into this shoot this morning. And I think it's because I care so deeply about everything that I do. And it always comes with a little bit of fear. But my mom has always said, everything you want is on the other side of fear. And there's such truth to that. And the last time that I was really scared was before a performance that I had recently with Andrea Bocelli. And yeah, it happens. But fear can be a really powerful thing if you don't let it freeze you.
Hi Sophia, my name's Gus and I'm 12 years old. My question is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to be a star like you?
Oh, hi, Gus. That's a beautiful question, and my advice to you, and you're already a star. I guess the first thought that came to mind is to work harder than you think, to work harder than everyone else. Discipline is a beautiful thing to have. And then I would say to never lose who you are, ever. To never sacrifice that, even if someone promises you fame. It's not a sacrifice worth making. And then I would say to never stop dreaming, to not ever believe that anything is impossible, that no matter how many doors get closed in your face, for me it was over 200, to never stop believing that the one that's meant for you, you're gonna open gracefully and you're gonna knock it down. As simple and as maybe cheesy as it sounds, to truly never, ever lose the dream.